I'm gonna draw for you what doesn't work when it comes to a personal development plan, so I can show you how to create a great personal development program. So watch closely as I show you where everybody messes up, because you're probably messing up in this area too. Your personal development plan needs some help. Now, this is what's crazy is, people talk about, hey, I want to get into personal development. And they actually need personal help to get their personal development plan put together. So I want to show you some and share with you some problems that you're going to run into with your personal development plan. First of all, when a person starts to get into personal development, they generally get into it doing it themselves. So a big mistake that people make is when they get into it, they do it alone. And when they do alone, they try to make the jump to get from point A in their life up to point B, because they want to do better, be better, and they make this jump and they fall. And then when they fall, then they turn around and say, that personal development's not for me. But the problem is their personal development plan was set up wrong. They didn't know how to get into it so that they are going to be successful. So big mistake in crashing and burning on a personal development plan is to do it alone. Second big mistake when they start personal development is that they are unclear about where they're going. So they're unclear. They have a kind of an idea of where they want to go, but they really haven't dialed in on it. One of the main reasons a person does not accomplish their goal or even get started in that direction is because they don't know exactly what they want. Because people today are indecisive. So much indecision going on, it's actually causing a lot of teeth problems in people, because indecision causes teeth issues, and there's all kinds of teeth issues going around. I know it's kind of a little side piece, but that's what happens with indecision. But they're unclear because they don't want to make a decision, because they don't want to make the wrong decision. So they make kind of a decision so they're not wrong. They make kind of a decision so they're not wrong. But a kind of decision means that you start, but then you crash. And now your personal development attempt now has failed. And now you can be another person who says personal development doesn't work. Well, it's because you tried doing it alone, you're unclear of your goal, and it's not going to work because you didn't set it up right. So here's another problem with a person who gets into personal development who doesn't know how to do this, is that they don't have any form of tracking. What are you doing? What is it that you're doing that's going to be different? I just had a text this morning that I was consulting with one of my mentoring clients who's having a challenge, and I asked them, did you track what you did last month? And they said no. And I said, so how do you know what you're going to change? And they said, wow, this is a brilliant idea. So if you ever want to change something in your life, you have to get better at tracking. You have to get better at tracking what you're doing, how you're doing things, and and so people don't do the tracking, and so then the personal development crashes because they start to take off, and because they're going to be better, but then they don't know if they're being better. They can't tell if they're being better. They have no way to prove to somebody they're doing better. They can't notice they're doing better, and so then they crash, and they mess up their personal development world. And they can be another person to say personal development doesn't work. But people who say personal development doesn't work are people who tried to do it alone, they were unclear of their goal, and they had no tracking system to watch the progress happening. Okay, another problem that they have is they have no one to report to. So there's no reporting going on. No reporting. They're in personal development, and they can try as much as they want, they can back off as much as they want, they can sabotage themselves as much as they want because they got no one to report to. And So that means they can work really hard for 3 days and then take 2 weeks off and still say they're in personal development. No, you're not. That's called do whatever you want. That's not personal development. That's do whatever you want kind of thinking. And so again, this person will start, but because they have nobody to report to, they're going to sabotage themselves and they're going to crash. So that was a good sound effect. And crash. And so these are the common reasons why you would fail at personal development and why your friend fails at personal development. So another reason why people fail at personal development is because they think that all they have to do is think positive. They think that's what personal development is, oh, I'm going to think positive. They're just like, they think that's it. Are you kidding? Personal development has to do with behavior. And behavior is your actions. Thoughts produce actions. Thoughts influence actions. But you got to study your behavior. So you got to be able to change behavior, not just thought process. But people don't know that. And so they're not looking at their behavior. And here's one that just cracks me up. It cracks me up. So they're working on personal development. And then I say to them, well, this is what you need to do next to be able to advance in your personal development, because I'm a mentor. And this is what you got to do. And they say back to me, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. It's like, what? What do you mean you don't know? You think you're smart enough to figure this next step out? No, you got to do things that are uncommon. Like if somebody wanted to, earn $5,000 more in a month, you have to do things different. You can't just, think about it. It doesn't work. It helps, but it doesn't make it happen. You have to do things different. And so the behaviors have to change. But most people don't think about that. And so they crash and they don't do well in their personal development world. They don't do well. Now, the last one here that I have for you, number 6, of how to crash and burn and ruin your personal development process, is that in the mode of your personal development experience, in that whole entire experience, you actually have to get smarter. You got to up your education. You got to move it up, because education about your goal is critical. It's essential. It's necessary. So people don't think that you have to keep learning about that particular goal that you have, or this next phase of life that you want. They wish for it, but they don't turn their wish into a want. Wishing and wanting, two totally different things. So another crash and burn is that they don't turn it into a want. And the reason you turn that into a want, the way that you do that, is that you really study it out. Let's say I wanted to be a better fisherman and catch marlin in the ocean. Right? I want to be a better fisherman and catch these big fish. I could wish for the day that I could do that. I could totally wish, and hoping I could just make the leap one day and it would all turn out good because I'm wishing. Or I get online, I talk to people, I study, I ask questions, I talk to fishermen, I find out what works, I find out what doesn't work, and I raise my education about this. Wow, you raise your education, then it's more of a solid move going there. But if I'm just wishing, it's not going to happen. So another way to crash and burn your personal development is just leave it as a wish, and you'll crash. You'll take the leap, and I'll do the sound effect again. Crash. Okay, but wait, Kirk. The topic you said of this video was like, let's set up this great plan, right? Let's like do this plan and how to create your personal plan so you can be good at this. We'll take all 6 of these and do them. You know, don't do this alone. Don't do this alone. What that means is you get a mentor. You put a mentor up here. And because you have a mentor, you can start passing the little rope back and forth and start passing the cables back and forth. So you can start building what you need to build to move from here to there. You get a mentor. Somebody to work with you. You get clear about what this is. You know what this is. You know exactly what you want. You know exactly what. You begin tracking. Doesn't that make sense? Like, God, I better start journaling. I better start creating tracking sheets. I better start getting myself into a system. And then you start to report. And who do you report to? You report to your mentor. Start building this, not this rope bridge, but now you pass back and forth materials and you start to build this solid structure that has beams, and you know, it's just getting nice and solid because you're doing what it takes to be able to report. And then behavior, yeah, you got to look at your behavior, not just your thoughts. You got to, like, what are you doing? What do you do when you wake up? What do you do in the morning? What do you do in the afternoon? What are you doing all day long? Because somewhere in there you got to change that behavior. So now you're building this nice solid steel structure of this bridge, so that when you go to make these steps happen, it's a guarantee you make that progress. A guarantee. Now, so we've got the behavior. You know, okay, I got to change something about myself, and I want this. Relentless want. Relentless. Like, I'm going to do that, and if I mess up, I'm going to keep going. If I make a mistake, I'm going to keep going. And you just build this solid bridge, like you can keep passing over this bridge over and over again. Then you make it. But you got to do the steps that it takes. Personal development has been watered down over the years. And people think that there's these easy steps to do. It takes a lot of work. Personal development is one of the toughest things I've ever done in my entire life. And it takes some thought to put this in order and find a mentor and describe your goal and start journaling and start tracking your behavior and start doing these things. But setting up a great personal development plan, right there. And let's make it super simple for you. Get a mentor, and they'll show you how to do it. You don't have to think of how all this works. Don't do it alone. Position yourself with a mentor. And I am a mentor. And if you're ready to be mentored, click the link below, and this link will set you up to being connected to me, and I will mentor you. I will show you the ropes. I will show you how to build the structure. I will show you how to do each one of these things. There's a link right here below. Click the link. Let's work together. It's a group experience. You're gonna learn the steps, the processes, the experience, what to do, what not to do, so that you can get from point A, where you're at, to really where you wish you could be, and get you up to that next level that you have been trying to get to all by yourself. Don't do it by yourself. Be smart and start out with a mentor.